I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ who struggles with codependency, alcohol, drugs, anger, anxiety, and control. My name is Jason. I started my Celebrate Recovery journey while I was away at college. This is what people from my neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York called it. The truth is, my addiction started back when I lived in New York, but that story is for another time. Let's fast forward to more recent years. From September 2013 to January 2014, I stole pain medications from my employer at the time and used them. It was later estimated to be about 1,400 pills in the 4-month span. I was a pharmacy tech who had access to it all. I would take 10 to 20 pills a day, essentially overdosing by medical standards. I hid my addiction from everyone and never showed any physical signs of using. No one was ever the wiser until the day I got caught, January 9th, 2014, when I was fired with charges pending. There's a lot more to the story, but for the brevity of time, this is the abridged version. I was officially charged and arrested on March 10th, 2014 for grand theft of a controlled substance and scheme to defraud. I was finally sentenced to 1 year at Martin County Jail on August 1st, 2014. A few weeks into my sentence, I requested to be transferred from general population to the God Pod dorm. The God Pod is an intense Christian-based recovery program led by Dunklin Memorial Camp. On September 11, 2014, which is an ironic day for me because I lost many friends on this day in 2001, and I was also part of search and recovery at Ground Zero, I was finally transferred to the God Pod. The next night, my assigned big brother, Brent, encouraged me to attend this voluntary meeting called Celebrate Recovery. This was the first time I met Keith, Bill, and Zach, and the recovery program I would come to know and love called Celebrate Recovery. I was hooked from day one. We met every Friday night for the institutional version of step study at 6 p.m., only to be rushed out by the on-shift corrections officer at 7 p.m. sharp. And I always felt cheated because I wanted more time. I came to know other members of the jail ministry too: Jose, Robert, David, Joe, Dr. J, James, Steve, and John. When I was released on Friday, April 24, 2015 from Martin County Jail, I knew I wanted to attend the Tuesday meetings at the Grace Place, but it seemed like an eternity until that day. But with patience, that Tuesday came and I attended my very first CR meeting at the Grace Place on April 28, 2015. That night I was welcomed with open and loving arms, met a bunch of new people, heard a testimony, and signed up for the Monday step study that was starting the following week. The step study I entered into seemed perfect. It was led by Robert and David, who I already knew from the jail ministry, so I felt very comfortable sharing, and I was eager to get the books and get going. I met some new men and started to form relationships I didn't think I could form. As our journey together progressed, we started out as boys and became men in faith. Step study has been challenging at times because I had to face the truth about myself. Otherwise, I wouldn't heal and overcome my hurts, habits, and hang-ups. Who wants to face themselves and be honest with themselves? It's usually easier just to be dishonest, am I right? So after a few weeks, I was able to get through step 3, which is we made a decision to turn our lives and our wills over to the care of God. If I couldn't do this, then how was I going to be able to survive step study? I was nervous about step 4, which is where we took a personal inventory, and step 5, confessing these things to another and God. But after I did it with my sponsor, it was like the weight of the burdens and guilt was lifted off my shoulders, and I was breathing better for the very first time. I was healing from my hurts, habits, and hang-ups every day because I used the tools I acquired in step study. As I conclude my step study, I'm looking forward to giving back even more to CR. Currently, I help with the greeting team, the security team, and on the tech team. I travel to other Celebrate Recoveries to support them and our very own the Step Brothers when they perform at these other locations. I look forward to the day I'm able to go back into Martin County Jail's God Pod as a CR jail ministry leader. I want to give to those men struggling with their faith a living testimony that they can make it on the outside if they fully surrender to God's will and take that step into Celebrate Recovery and join a step study to get the healing they are looking for in their lives. I also look forward to helping out more in general and taking on other responsibilities in CR, and maybe one day facilitate a step study. 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone, the new is here. I am a sinner saved by grace. My name is Jason."